Number 7, they want us to see if the value 2i is a 0. Usually when I see the imaginary terms, I like to do long division. However, they want us to use synthetic division, so we're going to go through that process. So we have 2i as our box number, x to the third, coefficient of a 1, x squared negative 3, and we have 16, and then negative 48. Okay, so we're going to go through this with synthetic division. So same thing, we're going to bring our first term straight down. 2i times 1 is going to be a positive 2i. Now, 2i and 3 are not like terms, so when I combine these, it's going to be a two-term item. So I'm going to have a negative 3 plus 2i. Okay, now from this point, when I multiply 2i, I got to distribute. So I'm going to do 2i times the negative 3 and 2i times 2i. So I'm going to do some little work down here so you can see. So 2i times the negative 3 is going to give me a negative 6i, and then 2i times 2i is going to give me positive 4i squared. Now you have to remember I squared is equal to negative 1. So what this really means is negative 6i plus 4 times negative 1, which simplifies to a negative 4 minus 6i. So there's a lot happening when you're doing this. So I'm going to write down minus 4 minus 6i. Okay, so the 16 and the 4, we're going to subtract their like terms. That's going to give us 12, and then minus 6i. And then when I do it one more time, 2i times the 12 minus 6i. So the 2i and the 12 will give me 24i. So I'm going to go ahead and write that. 24i. 2i times 6i will give me 12i squared. That is negative because of the minus 6. I squared is a negative 1, so negative 12 times negative 1 turns to positive. So I have a positive 12, and then this is plus 24i. When I combine the 48 and the 12, that gives us negative 36 plus 24i. So it's not a 0 because we didn't end up with a remainder of 0. All right, our last question, we have some fractions in it. It works the same. You just have to be able to multiply and divide simultaneously. So we're going to go ahead and do that one. We want to know if 1/2 is a 0. So 1/2 is our little box number. And then our coefficients are 1, 1/2 on my squared term, 9/2 on my single x, and then minus 5/2. Okay, so I'm going to bring the first term straight down. 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. 1 times 1/2 is 1/2. We got common denominator, so 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, 1/2 times 5. You're going to multiply 1 times 5 is 5. Divided by 2 is going to be 5 over 2. Negative 5 over 2, positive 5 over 2 end up being 0. So this works out perfectly. It is a 0 because our remainder is 0.